Hello, everyone. Welcome to this last interview of Wanderlust Live. I am really excited to be able to do this and close it all off with Kasia Turner, who is our teacher for Wanderlust 24. And you already seen her lovely video about her daily life on Wanderlust Live and how she incorporates her art journaling practice into her daily life. And if you haven't seen it, then what's wrong with you? Go back to that video and then come back to our interview because we may mention some of these things. Hello, Kasia.
Hello.
Lovely to see you. Thank you for doing this. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are, what you're doing. Who are you?
Okay. I'm in Pennsylvania in the United States. Boring state, if I can be honest with you. It's pretty boring. I live like in the mountains, kind of in the mountains a little bit. And
that's boring.
Yeah, well, they kind of are. I live in a really tiny town with one street light and there's nothing to do here. So it's kind of boring. But I'm not a city girl, so I guess it works.
Okay.
I have 5 children and I am a grandmother, which is insane. Yeah. Yes. I have a 3-year-old and I'm a grandmother. So
you're only like 25 yourself.
Well, no. Although that's a great compliment. I accept that compliment.
You're welcome.
So I've been a stay-at-home mom for like 22 years, and we've hosted international students. We've hosted 10 international students in the last 8 years. So I often say I'm a mom of many because yes, I have 5, but I've also been a mom to 10 at some point. So 10 others, extras. So yeah, a little bit about me.
Sounds intense. And you are a Wanderlust 24 teacher. We are really, really honored and happy and pumped and excited about having you. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey with Everything Art? Because it's interesting. It's a good one. How did it all start for you?
Okay, so the way I got into Wanderlust 2022, well, I've only actually been doing art journaling and mixed media since very late in 2020. So 2021 was kind of like getting my feet wet, like trying to learn all the things. And then you guys came out with a chance to win Wanderlust 2022, I believe it was.
Like a challenge, call it challenge.
It was a challenge, yes. The word is escaping me. And so you could win it and you could choose a friend. Well, Anouk Carson, who I became friends with because we have the same dog, and then she did art journaling. So I was like picking her brain. She was like my mentor. She won it and then chose me. So that is how I got into Wanderlust 2022. And I enjoyed it so much because as I was newer to mixed media, it was a way that I could learn about the supplies. Like, what did I want to purchase? What did I purchase and didn't know how to use? You know, what can I do with these? And, you know, I was kind of set in a lot of the mixed media techniques or the way to art journal that I was doing. And Wanderlust helped me to kind of, even if I didn't really care for necessarily the way that it ended up, like the way my pages ended up, it helped me to branch out and try something new, because how am I going to know if I like it if I didn't actually try it? So that was what I really enjoyed about Wanderlust. And then I purchased it for 2023 because I really enjoyed it. Just like I said, the learning, because you explain about the supplies. You are explaining, taking the time to explain about those supplies. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I have this. I've only been doing this with it, but now I know I can do this, this, and this. So that was fantastic. And then actually someone reached out to me on a private message when you opened the application process for 2024.
For
And
teachers.
someone, and she's even a digital, like a digital artist. She doesn't even do like hands-on art journaling. She's a digital artist. And she private messaged me and said, you need to apply for this. And I was like, what? Me? Like, and then I thought, well, all I can do is apply. And I applied and I got it and I cried.
Oh, that's lovely. And now you're getting ready for your lesson on Wanderlust 24. We know what you're going to be doing roughly already. You've chosen your technique. Can you tell us a little bit about this lesson?
It is, you know, I wanted to bring about joy because I feel like joy is a choice. And so I wanted to focus on some joy while we are working in our art journal. And we're going to be using tissue papers and napkins and tea bags, because tea bags are fantastic, and just adding texture. So we'll use some floral elements and add some texture with different kinds of paper, those different fun papers, and you know, think about joy. You know, what brings about joy to us, and how we can choose joy in some not so great circumstances.
That's brilliant. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think that's an important thing to point out with Wanderlust, is that because you mentioned we learn about supplies, you mentioned you're going to be teaching about texture and how to create it with different exciting papers. But also we always make sure that our pages on Wanderlust have some sort of a meaning, that there is a prompt or a subject that we are journaling about. Because would you agree that it's important to make art about something, right? That is close to
Oh,
our.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
So that's great. We're really looking forward to it. But your journey is really really cool as well. I mean, there are a few teachers that started out with us by just taking our course, and I always love, you know, turning them into teachers when we get the opportunity to work with them on actual teaching, because they have the advantage, like you, of understanding the students so well. You know, you were once a student, so you know what you're looking for from a lesson, right? What you'd like to see, what you like to learn. So that's why I'm just super pumped about it. But I also find it fascinating how you started our journaling in 2020, you said, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna hear about it in one of your bonuses on Wanderlust 24.
Yeah.
Kasia sharing a really amazing story as a bonus, available to everyone. Whoever joins Wanderlust straight away, you can watch it now. But you started in 2020, and in 2022, right? You applied to teach on 23. And we chose you. And I have to tell you, there's lots of applications that we get. And there's some really strong ones. And it's really hard because we don't always have the right spots for everyone, you know, because we have the structure and the supplies. We know what reason. So we have to find the right people for the spots. But yours was a clear no-brainer. Your application was so good. The video was so encouraging, so enthusiastic. And also what you've written in your application about the authenticity and how you want to infect the world with what you've learned about art. That was really good. I'm really, really happy that we have you. So tell me, how does because you're a busy mom, you're a busy person, and yet you produce a lot of art. You participated in Wanderlust. I've seen you done 100 small steps. You've done lots of our offerings and courses. So how do you find time? Do you have a routine, or do you just whatever happens, happens?
I tried to have a routine where, you know, my youngest child is 3, and so she still needs mommy to put her to bed at night. And she's my last one, so I'm kind of soaking it in. So I was having a routine where I would put her to bed. Everyone else was going to bed because of school or whatever. My husband gets up really early in the morning for work, like 3:30 in the morning, which
Wow.
is I don't want to do that ever. And so the nighttime hours were very quiet, and I was having a routine of doing art at bedtime.
Mhm.
And then I was like, oh, it would be midnight maybe. And I would be going to bed at that time. And it worked. It worked for a while. But then I found that I was getting more inspired. I was more inspired in the morning. Like to kind of, yes, I read my Bible in the morning when I wake up, but to kind of start my day with doing some art, with just kind of playing and having that relaxing time. So since I'm at home with my daughter, she's like watching Peppa Pig or something and eating
Oh, we
her
don't have a pig.
always Peppa Pig, and eating her pancakes in the morning. And my art studio is like the front room of my home. And we have pocket doors in between that and our like family room. And so she'll be sitting there watching Peppa Pig, eating her little pancake. And I'm just right here, within, some feet away in my art studio, and just, doing my morning creating. And I have found that I enjoy that more. I'm more inspired. And she's right there. And so that works for me to do that. Sometimes if I have busy mornings, I can't get it done. But like, if it's an afternoon and she's just kind of, you know, I want to say chilling or watching Peppa Pig again, I don't know. I might sit here, but I like the fact that my studio is not away
Mm.
from her, from the family, that I can still be present. I can still have a conversation with someone right in the next room while I'm doing art. So, I intentionally make the time.
Mm.
Everybody says about finding time. I intentionally make the time because it is important to me and it's good for my well-being to have some of this, creative play and dump everything out on the pages of my journals.
Do you feel like or journaling or doing some art in the morning affects the rest of your day? Like, do you feel more relaxed, or do you feel like you can give more to?
I think yes. I think there definitely is an element of that, because even if I'm not intentionally writing out what I'm feeling, naturally I'm choosing colors or focal points or creating a scene. I'm very into creating scenes right now with magazine images that just bring about peace and like just this serene feeling that you literally want to step into the pages and take a walk there. And even if I'm not feeling that way, as I'm creating those pages, it's bringing about that peace and that relaxation by the time the pages are completed. And so as I'm doing that, if I'm doing that in the morning, it just kind of allows me to rest myself, rest my mind, dump what is going on if I write it out or not, because just naturally my emotions and my feelings are coming out with the colors I'm choosing or whatever it is that I'm putting on my pages. And then it just kind of, helps to get the day started, that hopefully I'm in a good mood for the rest of the day.
Yes, so that's really really nice. And when you do a course like I know you were doing Wanderlust or 100 Small Steps, would you do that in the morning sometimes, or is it something you?
Well, Wanderlust, I was actually starting out because here, in the US, the classes are live on a Thursday night.
Right.
So like I remember the first year of Wanderlust, I was like, oh, I have to do Wanderlust. So I'm like getting everybody to bed and I'm like, I am doing Wanderlust on a Thursday night. So I did start out really like intentionally, I am doing Wanderlust on a Thursday night.
That's right.
And I will never forget the one night. It was the first one. Gosh, was it 2022? I think it might have been. It was the very first one, 2022. I did it Thursday night. and I did not like what I did. And I went to bed. It was like midnight, and I could not go to bed because I did not like what I created. The very first lesson, my very first experience with Wanderlust. And I was like, what did I create? And I came back downstairs at midnight and revamped it. I just tweaked it. I changed it. I did something different. And I was like, yes, I can sleep tonight. So,
Okay.
so I was very, yeah. So Thursday night was Wanderlust night. Now, things have kind of changed in the season of life, and bedtimes aren't quite as easy as they were. And now I have teenagers, and so they like to talk with me or watch a show in the evenings, together. And so usually a Friday morning is a Wanderlust morning.
And
if I have nothing else going on, it's a Wanderlust morning. And I try not to get behind, but sometimes I get behind, because life.
Yeah, absolutely. And you say about this one night when you didn't like your end result, do you think your expectations were high at that point, that it's gonna look great straight away? Or
well, it was different than what I normally would do. It was a landscape, and at that time, I only basically had 2021 of my art journaling experience. I certainly wasn't doing landscaping. I was just like doing a mishmash of whatever on the pages. And so it was a black and white landscape. And I don't know. I just kind of did what, I don't know, you might have done it. I'm not actually, I think you did it.
Yeah.
I think it was yours. And so I kind of was trying to do what you did because I was new and really it was like, I'm trying to think if I did any lessons before that. So I'm not quite sure, but I didn't like the way I did it. Because it was a landscape, so it threw me off already. But then I just, yeah, but I'm learning. I have learned, now being halfway into Wanderlust 2023. And so I've been doing this for a year and a half. And I was just telling a friend the other day that for me, Wanderlust is about trying it. I'm not a face person.
Right.
To be honest with you, I don't like to do faces. I can do them, but I don't like it. But I try to do them because that's what the teacher is showing me what to do. And so my Wanderlust journal is not my pouring my heart out journal, really. It's not my, me expressing my soul in my journal. That's my Wanderlust journal, where I'm learning techniques. I'm following what the teacher is telling me to do. I'm trying to do what they're doing. I might tweak it and make it my own, but that's my journal of learning. And so I think it's important for me and for others to approach these Wanderlust lessons, even if you're like, I don't know that I really like this. I don't like to do faces, or I'm not a landscape person. Just try it, because I was very anti-magazine images. And then, there was some lessons, and it was kind of just the right person teaching a certain way to use them. And I was like, oh, this whole world opened up. And so I think approaching these lessons as, even though I might not like it, this might not be my vibe or my style, I'm going to try it, because I don't know if I'm going to like something new if I don't try.
That's a great attitude. I think as grown-ups, we don't often get a chance to be students, right? We live our busy grown-up life, and there isn't much room for that. And I think that's why, sometimes I see that, and I understand that people approaching Wanderlust for the first time, kind of expect immediate results, and if you approach it with a mind of a student, allow yourself to actually learn and be a student. without too much of, when it comes to expectations for final results straight away.
Right.
Be able to take it all in, digest it, and all of that is going to do crazy stuff in your head, and things are going to come out that will take you closer to discover that voice or style that is really true and authentic to you. So thank you very much for sharing about that. Now, I was reading about your colors, how you like to choose your colors, and you said that you're not, at least when you've written that, that you don't necessarily love very bold or bright, vibrant colors, that you're more drawn to muted colors. Is this still a thing?
I am drawn to muted colors. The softer, more peaceful colors, definitely. And the more I've been thinking about that, and that people are saying to me, "Oh, your stuff is so soft. Your style is so soft." And I think that's because I feel like my life is so chaotic that I'm using things and colors. I gravitate towards that because that's what I'm trying to create within myself. And so I did kind of go through a bolder phase earlier in the years. Some of it still comes out a little bit. I don't know where that came from. And I'm not a fan of yellow or orange or red. No. But I've been adding like yellow, more yellows, and trying to just branch out a little bit. But I'm still a greens and blues girl. And
that's good.
I just think I'm stuck in that soft, peaceful, kind of serene style or color scheme, color palette, because I need some peace.
That's a really good point. I was talking to someone about it recently, and how we came to a conclusion that often the art journal pages that we do, because it's such a personal form of art, it's not a commission, it's not something you make to put on the wall that has to look a certain way. Because it's so personal, we often make pages of our pages consist of what we need in life. So if you need excitement, if you lack some, vibrancy, you may be using more vibrant colors, or there's more chaos in your pages, and it's the other way as well. And I definitely can tell that about my pages when I look through my originals and I start remembering about, what's happened in a certain part of phase of my life. I thought, oh, yes, exactly.
I remember that.
I remember that. Okay, Kasia, thank you very much for this chat. Thank you for sharing so generously, sharing all about your Wanderlust experience and your experience as an artist. We're really, really excited to have you on Wanderlust. We can't wait to see your lesson. And everyone, people, if you haven't signed up to Wanderlust 24, there is a link underneath this video. It's Kasia's affiliate link, so you can support your artist by clicking it and going through to the sales page through it. And in the classroom right there will be a video from Kasia, one of her bonuses, straight away waiting for you, instant access. And it's all about a journey of transformation. Yes?
Yes.
I would really love you to see that, because it's a really, really good one. Definitely one of my big favorites when it comes to those bonuses. Okay, Wanderlust is available right now, so follow that link if you'd like to join. Thank you very much, Kasia, for chatting with me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see you in the classroom.
Yes, I'm excited.
Thank you.